Okay, and welcome back to paranormalxl podcast. As always, I'm Gigi, and with me for always is Mama Mary. This next part's going to be kind of funny after our discussion we just had. So I've been waiting for recording day all freaking week long because it's been a long ass week.
Yes, it has, without a doubt.
Yes, we've already finished like 8 bottles of wine. I am kidding.
No, she's not.
No kidding. We're just gonna kind of jump right in this week. This week's episode is about the Hope Diamond and the curse that seems to follow this beautiful rock. Did you see pictures of it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I guess I have a picture right behind us. I would love to have that.
It's the same like one that they talk about in the Titanic, isn't it? No?
No, somebody asked that question when I was doing the research on one of the web pages, and no, it is not.
Oh.
Actually.
For some reason, I made that connection.
I kind of did too at the beginning, and then so when I saw that randomly, I'm like, oh, good to know.
Yeah, it is. See, learn something new every day.
There, boom, episode done. Just
Bye.
kidding. Bye! Here's a little bit, let's... as of right now, this gorgeous diamond is worth anywhere from 200 to 350 million U.S. doll hairs.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. See, problem solved. We could just solve all of our problems that we just discussed. We'll go get it. We'll go pick it up from the Smithsonian because that's where it's at right now. Now, it is at this time, it's 45.552 carats. It started out as around 112 carats.
Oh, my goodness.
That's like a Flintstone stone. Like,
Yeah,
right, that's what I think about. Ooh, and a hand, like, rips off, and great fun.
Oh, yeah.
Huge. I'd love to see this thing in person. So, did you know anything about it before, like, we started researching about it?
No, actually, I didn't. I had heard, the most I heard about it was that it was a curse and that, whoever bought it seemed to be cursed. And I think the story originated from the owner and somebody had stolen it from him.
Yeah, it's been around. There's 10 stories that go with the curse or people. With it, I read about this a few months ago, and I mentioned it then because I was like, "This is weird." But I was like scrolling through Facebook. I'm like, "Oh, what a really pretty diamond! I want to read about this." And then I was like, "I love diamonds. I love to read about curses. Why wouldn't I click on this link?" Well, then it like pulled me in and told this story about it. And I mean, this stone is like super super old, like.
It goes way back, doesn't it?
Yeah, mid 1600s. It was found in I'm gonna butcher this location, Golconda region of India.
Okay.
And it was a French diamond merchant found it. His name was Jean Trevenier. He first acquired the diamond itself. Again, at this point, it was 112 carats. Like absolutely insane. Now. Back in the 1600s, India was the only place they said, like, known that you could get diamonds and those types of gems and stuff. So India was big and well known for that. With that...
And he sold it to King Louis, didn't he? The King Louis 14th?
Oh, I thought it was the 16th.
It could have been the 16th.
I hate those XIV things.
I know.
I actually looked it up
so
in a translate thing, and I got 16 is what I got on it. But then in another one, I got the 4th.
No, I think, I don't know. Mine here says the X1 and V, but,
I got that, and then I got one that's, oh my gosh, an IV. So what I got is, okay, the diamond was roughly shaped 112 carats and symmetrical beautiful gem of 67 carats. Let's see, okay, I got 2 different, I went to a couple different sites. Now, this one says it's only worth $3.6 million in today's currency.
Oh.
Which, yeah, that's a lot of money, but when we think about how things cost nowadays, I think this is more believable, like the up to 350, and that's why it's current. In a museum at the Smithsonian, like yeah. But it all depends on buyer type of thing. We've been binge watching, oh my god, the show that's out in Vegas, the Pawn Stars.
Oh yeah, yep.
We've been watching that, which I don't know why, because Sean was like, "It's all a lie. It's all a lie. Why are we watching?" He used to watch it, and then he went and visited it, and he's like, all the shop is now is merchandise.
Oh, really?
And then he went and got me some of the merchandise that he bought from there. He's like, see? He's like, there's no pawn shop there.
Oh.
Very weird.
That does take the fun out of it, doesn't it?
Totally does. And I didn't pay no attention when I was out there. That's not what I was out there for. I wanted to see haunted items, like...
Yeah, the good stuff.
Yeah, like, why doesn't Mr. Zach Baggins have this cursed diamond? He really needs to get this. That would be a good one. I'm just saying.
It's a very thought-provoking question.
Yeah, he needs to get on his shit. I'm just saying. Get on your shit, Mr. Baggins. God. So, anyhow, then. Also, it was said to be worn by Queen Marie Antoinette, but there's no proof of that. There's no, like, pictures, no documentation, just because it did end up in the crown jewels.
Yes. Yep.
So, and that is where, let's see, and back then they referred to it as the blue diamond. When Queen Antoinette and her husband were in prison for the outbreak of the French Revolution, the crown jewels were put in a warehouse, but with that, they also put it out for public display because of the type of rock that it was. But in September 1792, somebody came and was like, "Ooh, pretty mine," and they took it. They stole it.
Well, they say that too. That's why, because they had that diamond, it's why they were arrested and they had the unrest and that they were beheaded eventually.
Yep.
One of my most favorite stories. Have you ever watched any of those movies like Marie Antoinette?
I have, and that's actually where my tattoo came from. Times are hard for dreamers. Mm-hmm. I was like, "Where'd you get that?" And I'm like, movies. And then they're like, "How do you know that's French?" I'm like, "Well, she said it in a movie, but it's in one of her movies. She says that."
That's right.
Wow. I didn't think about that when I was researching.
Everything comes full circle. See how that is?
I got it on my body forever. That, you know what that means? That links me somehow, 7 Ways to Kevin Bacon, all the way to this Hope Diamond. Well, it's mine.
Maybe you were hurt in a past life. Who knows?
Maybe. I very well could have been. However, I do not want the curse that said to follow it. However, I do believe I could easily just say everything bad that's ever happened in my life was because of that.
There you go.
See? Boom.
Scapegoat.
Solve the problem.
Scapegoat.
Yep. We're good now. Now that I reached that conclusion, we can move on.
All right.
So, it was stolen, and then it became missing for 20 years. Until, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Till a smaller 45-carat blue diamond just magically appeared one day in London in 1812. It turned up from an English diamond merchant named Ellison. He didn't say, like, where it was from or who cut it down or any of that business, but said this 45-carat blue diamond, as drawn in a document of the time, is the same as what is in the museum today.
Oh, now the notes that I researched, it shows that Tavernier, he sold the stone to King Louis.
Yes.
King Louis had the diamond recut down to 67 carats.
Yes, I have that right here too.
So
yeah, I didn't go above that part when I read that it was 112, got cut down to 67.
So I wonder how many times they cut it. You know what I mean?
That's what I like. How many other pieces of this thing are laying around? Because those pieces had to go somewhere.
The curse is everywhere.
It is. That's why the world's going to shit. See, this is why we said in the last episode, we should be running the fucking world.
Yeah, there you go. Problem solved.
Put Paranormal XL down on your voting ballot this November, 2020. Paranormal XL 2020. Probably going to hell for that one too. I'm already there. So Ellison ended up selling the blue diamond to British King George IV. And some ended up calling the diamond George Blue Diamond.
Oh. Kind of has a ring to it.
Now George IV, from my understanding, he was one of them's conceited peoples where he's like, I'm going to wear everything I own so everybody can see it at all times. And I'm marvelous because I have these jewels.
It doesn't surprise me because I think he squandered the family money and ended up having to sell everything off.
He did. Yeah.
So that sounds like it would fit the role.
Yes, he bankrupted everything that he had because, well, he wasn't paying attention to shit. He got sidetracked by shiny things, and that's half of my problem right there.
Oh, pretty.
Oh, shiny things. So he ended up dying in 1830. The Duke of Wellington ended up having to sell the diamond to pay off George IV, all his debts. He sold it to Henry Philip Hope.
Oh, hence the name.
Yes.
Correct?
He was a diamond collector. I want to collect diamonds. So how do you get into that?
Yeah, really. How's that happen?
So, Mr. Hope, he actually put the diamond in a medallion and added a pearl to it. That was interesting. You don't see that as we're looking at a picture of it right now. See, when I think like 45 carats, I'm expecting that to be a lot bigger.
I know, something huge.
Yeah, that's what she said. I had to put one in there. That's what he said. I'm gonna roll today. Zing. Like mana. So he would call the diamond number 1. Then after some years, it was considered the Hope diamond. Now, the Hope family was known as one of the wealthiest families, one of the richest over yonder in the England
over the pond.
area. Yeah, over the pond. So then what had happened was in 1887, the diamond went to Lord Francis Hope. That's his great grandnephew. So it stayed in the Hope family for a while. Clearly, that's how it got its name. Until he decided he was going to lose his fortune, because again, he just
squandered it.
Yep, I have all this money. Okay, when people have all that money, they just think that it's like never ending. It's not growing literally on a tree.
You have that much money, you should be able to have enough to put somewhere to grow.
That's what I'm saying. And like, okay, back then, that money went a long way. Way further than it does now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, I guess I know on payday, I'm like, and then I'm like, where did it all go?
Yeah, I do the same thing.
And that's like 45 minutes after the check hits my account. Need more microphones, need more crystals.
Yeah. The kids always know when it's payday. Uh-huh. They start asking, Jesus.
That's what Destiny, did you put my $20 allowance? I'm like, $20 allowance for what? What the hell did you do for me?
That's about right. Like, can we go to the store with you? No.
No.
Not going with me, not going in.
It's a good thing Destiny's going to be 18 on Monday, and I can be like, nope, you're an adult.
I'll go into Carl's, and I swear to God, the lady laughs at me every time. She goes, you spend so much less when they're not in here. I'm like, I know.
I know, we both need to learn the word no.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, back on the diamond train. So he blew all the money, so he had to end up selling it too. So a New York jeweler got his hands on it in 1901. Frankel's. That's a fun name. So, of course, acquiring this diamond, it would be quick money. Mm-hmm. They'd be able to sell it right away because, well, it's beautiful. It is. It's absolutely beautiful. However, no, I'm saying in America that the wealth wasn't the same as it was over in England.
Yeah, they probably had different ideals too.
Yeah.
You don't have the aristocrats.
Yeah.
That was...
Yeah, a big thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So it sat in their vault, which is sad. 1907, they had a banker's panic. It was a recession. So clearly it took a toll on most companies, took a toll on the Frankel's company. So that's when the story of the curse started coming about too.
Where they start seeing a pattern of...
Yeah. They're like, okay, anybody that comes into contact with this, going back with all the stories in the history, it first came out a story with the curse in New York Times in 1908. And of course, everybody else tried to jump on that bandwagon. More got added. That's the thing, well, with any story like that, it's more of an urban legend, I think. I don't necessarily think that thing is cursed.
No, yeah.
And the most of them they have debunked, especially like the newer things that happen to the other people. Shit happens. I think
too, you can manifest it too. So if you buy something with the idea that you think this is going to happen, there's a good chance you're going to find some way to make it happen.
Right. And it actually has nothing to do with that object. Like, you're making these decisions your whole life. Like, it was not that beautiful diamond that made you spend all your kingdom's money.
Yeah, really.
Did it sit there with a little tiny knife and was like, oh, I'm gonna cut you.
A little voodoo doll.
Yeah, like
a little king voodoo doll.
Exactly. It was pretty. They probably got so sidetracked with its prettiness that they didn't pay attention to what they needed to. Dummies. God.
Yeah.
So with all these stories, then they started going back to like King Louis, Marie Antoinette, and then they started blaming it all on the diamond. No, nobody wants to take responsibility for anything.
Well,
as we learned.
As I like the story of Marie Antoinette, they did a lot of squandering, a lot, like on stupid things, and it just kept on raising the taxes on their people. and the people were sick and they were dying, they weren't being taken care of. That's what that was. That was just
exactly
a lack of integrity.
Yep.
Sorry,
for sure.
Internet. I do like your movies and your shoes.
Clearly, me too. I love when people ask me this, and then I try to pronounce it. Because as anybody that, if you're listening, I have a hard enough time pronouncing, like, English, which is, like, my only language that I know. My tattoo is in French. So I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what it stands for is... blah, 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 blah. Beautiful, isn't it?
Well, it sounded nice.
I know, it just rolls right off the tongue.
I know.
Blah, 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 blah. It's beautiful. So, of course, the curse continues because, well, it's still around, and that was what we left off at about 1908 when the stories started coming out.
Yep, and what was it, the banker's panic. Didn't he have to sell the diamond because of that?
Yes. Because of the panic, which was a recession, essentially, they ended up collapsing, as most of the businesses did through that. I
wonder if they came up with the curse of the whole diamond to create interest so somebody would buy it.
That's a good theory. I like that theory.
If we put a mystery around it, maybe there's going to be somebody.
Well, that's how Mr. Baggins ended up with his museum.
Well, yeah, there's going to be somebody out there that wants to buy it just to see if it's going to come true.
Yeah, that's true. That would be a good marketing idea for that time for sure, because back then they believed.
Yeah, they
not that we don't believe in that stuff now, but they would totally hold on to it, and take it.
They were superstitious with it.
Yes, and run with it. So yeah, it was sold at a cheap price. Actually, I don't know the actual price, but it was sold cheap. So it ended up with the Cartier brothers in Paris.
Oh.
Oui, oui.
Uh-huh.
Oui, oui. So Paris Cartier. Caviar.
Caviar.
Caviar. No, not
No.
Yeah. Was enchanted with the novel written decades earlier by English author Wilkie Collins. In his story, a large yellow diamond had formed the eye of an idol of a Hindu deity in a temple in India. The diamond literally embodied the power of the god. There it rested until it was looted by a Muslim conqueror and taken to his treasury. Then years later, British colonial soldiers looted the treasury in battle, taking the diamond back to England. There, tragedy, murder, kidnapping, and insanity followed the possession of the ill-gotten gem. The god had cursed the stone. An evil force would emanate rays from the stone and strike misfortune upon all who owned it until the gem was properly returned to the deity back in India. That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Says the Indian Hindu priests retrieved the diamond and brought it back home. Now the story by Collins was basically a cautionary tale about divine or supernatural payback for the immortality of the colonial. So
it almost kind of sounds like maybe they did come up with a scary story for the diamond using that book.
That's true. Yeah. I'd say, that would make sense.
Interesting connection.
Interesting connection. I like how you said that.
Connect me with that.
So in 1910, the Cartier got a hold of Evelyn and Ned McLean. Okay, so they're in America. Mm-hmm. They were one of the wealthiest in America. They had, to put this in perspective, I guess, they held the ownership of, like, major wanted realty, like, all over Washington.
Okay.
Like, they ran Washington, essentially. So, of course, they're going to want it. Now, this is where it gets a little fun, too. So Evelyn and Ned, they, like I said, were a wealthy couple. They actually bought it when they vacationed over in Paris.
And didn't she claim that she had the power to transform, like, unlucky objects into lucky?
Yeah, she's crazy. Yeah. Now, he did, when he sold the diamond to them, Cartier, he told that story from the book to them. It was told them that it was cursed by a Hindu god. So, of course, he embellished. That's what people do to make a good story. Why not, right?
Well, yeah.
So, of course, they buy into it. So they're like, hell yeah. So then they can bring it back to America and be like, look what we got. Look what we got. So Evelyn, she was huge into that. Like you said, she thought she had these special powers or whatever. So they also owned, like, a bunch of banks and everything else. It just wasn't the real estate around in Washington. They owned, like, a shit ton. So, with this money, again, just like over the little pond, they wanted to just money away. That's what they were known to do. But for some reason, I think they did have it on a tree.
It just kept on coming?
Yeah. See, Evelyn, she would wear this because it was in necklace form, and she would wear it to the parties to parade it around to say, look what we got, and here's the story that goes with it, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, and just would flaunt it around at all these huge gatherings and everything that they had in Washington. La-di-da-di-da.
Well, I read here, too, though, that she was a little bit weird because she would wear it around, but she'd also do, treat it weird because she'd put it on her dog's neck.
Yes. She had a big dog. She had oh my god, what was it? It was a,
that I didn't have, it just said the dog.
Oh my god, no, it was it's a big breed. I can't, my ex-husband used to have one, I can't think of the name.
St. Bernard?
No.
Doberman Pinscher?
No. I'm like, no, that ain't it. No.
Chihuahua?
So, it'll come to me. That was until 1919, okay. Her 10-year-old son, Vincent, he was killed, got hit by a car by their house in Washington, D.C. Oh. So, of course, at that time, everybody was already well known that they have this diamond. So then that story went to, well, that's why your son was killed. So, I mean, why wouldn't it? It was... See, Ned ended up going insane, which I guess why wouldn't you? And the family lost because they owned the Washington Post. Well, that's why they were so rich. But they ended up losing that. Oh. So then he ended up losing his mind. And Evelyn at that time even tried to use, before having to file bankruptcy, to use the diamond as collateral.
Oh, really?
And they didn't
the daughter get addicted to drugs and overdose, too?
I don't know. She committed suicide, it said. Oh, that was in 1946. Now, after all that with them losing the Washington Post and stuff, Evelyn kept the diamond, but she would use it to make money. So she would she kind of rented out for people to use at their weddings for their something blue.
Oh, goodness.
Use it for, giveaways. One of a prize at an event that they were having. You could hold this diamond. Yeah. All right. And that's how she would...
It's kind of smart in a way.
Try to use it, yeah. She pawned the diamond in 1932 in order... She hired an investigator to help the Lindbergh family.
For what?
To try to find their baby. The Lindbergh baby? Really? That was huge. He got taken, never found?
Really? I've never heard of it. I haven't.
I wish you guys to see the Lindbergh? Really?
No.
You should look into that. That's a huge, huge story. Wow, yeah, the Lindbergh baby. And she would use the remaining money was to be used for the ransom if there was going to be ransom involved from the kidnapping. So she got the diamond back from that. So like I said, then she would use it for different social events. They'd sell raffle tickets, and then you
get to hold it.
Yeah. And you hold this pretty shiny thing, which I don't know. That's weird. It was a great day, and she had a great day. That's what it was. Now, she does have an autobiography out there. That could be interesting to read. So, we just said 1946, her daughter, Evie, committed suicide, and then Evelyn ended up passing away in 1947. Okay. So then, the diamond went to Harry Winston. A decade later, the diamond went to the Smithsonian. However, there was other people that got this affected. So when you look this up, this is what you'll find. I got a list of the 10 victims. We'll start off with the newest one. I said there's 10 that go into the story. There was that was the guy that got it to begin with. Was it? Jean Trevenier. Yep. He's a French gem merchant, came down with a raging fever after stealing the diamond, and then he died after. It says here that his body could have been eaten by wolves.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But other documents state that he lived until 84. So it's one of those things.
Just don't know for sure.
Yeah, it's a story. King Louis XVI bought the stone from Jean and had it recut in 1673. He died of gangrene. Yeah. And all of his legitimate children died in childhood.
Really?
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
And then Nicholas Fouquet, he worked for King Louis XVI. He was said to have worn the diamond. He didn't necessarily have ownership of it. he actually ended up being banished from France, and then the king sentenced him to life imprisonment. So that's... and then they relate him back to The Man in the Iron Mask. That's a movie.
It is.
Actually.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm. But, like with any good story with that far back, we don't actually know. We weren't there. Things can be written, but things get changed over time. That's just how it goes. And then 4 and 5, Louis the 16th and Marie Antoinette. Now, we know the story behind there. Then it ended up, in this part of the research, it ended up with Marie-Louise, Princess of de Lamballe. I am really trying here.
You're doing a good job. You're all right.
Well, the princess, she was a member of Antoinette's court, and her closest person. They always had that one. You should probably see her in the movies, actually.
Mm-hmm.
She was killed by a mob in a bad way. Weird. Whoa! Hit with a hammer, decapitated, stripped, and disemboweled. That is crazy. I don't like that one.
That's kind of gruesome.
Then we got Wilhelm Falls. He was a Dutch jeweler. He's the one that recut the diamond. See, his son ended up murdering him and then taking his own life.
Fascinating.
Weird. And then we got Simon Moncrustes. He was a Greek merchant. He had the diamond in his possession. It says, drove his car over a cliff, killed himself, and then his wife and his child was in the car as well. Then we got Evelyn McLean, as we just talked about her. She was a spoiled heiress. It's funny. Let's see. It says that she died in a mental hospital. Her daughter died of a drug overdose at 25, it said. I don't know. See, Winston, because that's who got the diamond after them, says he mailed the gem to the Smithsonian for $2.44 in postage and $155 in insurance.
Oh,
and then James Todd, he's the mailman that delivered it to that location, to the Smithsonian. This is so sad. And it says that his leg was crushed in a truck accident, and he suffered a head injury in a separate accident. Oh. And his house burned down after that.
Jeez, Winston, what did he do to you? That's kind of sad.
I know, right? He was just doing what he was told.
Just doing his job.
I don't know. I ultimately think that, I know we don't believe in, well, no, I don't say coincidence, but that's all normal stuff.
Well, it could have been, exaggerated too.
Yeah.
He could have fallen and broken his leg.
Right. It was just going to happen regardless if he was dropping off a letter versus the diamond.
It's like playing the telephone game. By the time you get to the end, the story's completely different.
Oh, God, that was one of my favorite things to do in school, play the telephone game. Good times. This might end up being a short episode, but we got things to do.
We do.
So do you have anything more to add?
I had just a couple of things.
Okay.
Nothing major. I found how it formed.
Okay.
It says the diamond was formed around 1.1 billion years ago, and that it was initially embedded in kimberlite, which is a type of ingenious rock that sometimes is embedded with the diamonds. Over years, the kimberlite went through rain and wind and erosion, and eventually got placed, among the gravels. And then it talks about contamination. It says 100% pure diamonds with zero contamination do not have any color. However, this diamond was actually contaminated with trace amounts of boron, giving it its characteristic blue.
Yeah.
That's why it's so popular.
I wondered why it was blue.
And I guess you just don't get very many of those.
Right.
If you're going to find a diamond, it's usually
an actual true diamond. Yeah.
And it says down here, too, when you hold it up to, I think, ultraviolet light, you'll also see red in it.
I've seen that when I was doing that other research a long time ago. I seen that, but there's a reason for that. People were like, "Oh my God, that's the curse." So but science was able to. I don't know the exact terms that they use, but it was something that it's formed with the minerals and stuff.
It picks it up.
Yeah, and that's what makes it that color. But of course, you got, oh my God, it's a demon!
Now I did find where they said the curse started. It said the diamond was placed on the forehead of a Hindu goddess, Sita, many centuries ago, and a man named Tavernier visited India and managed to steal the diamond. He managed to sell the diamond and was then on a trip to Russia when he met his horrible death. wild dogs tearing them apart. But then there's the story that, you know, he acquired the diamond. He sold it to King Louis, and that's why he was going to Russia. But there's lots of accounts, like you said, where he died a peaceful life, like in his 80s or something.
Yeah,
like that.
see, it's all depending on
76. Sorry.
Yeah, see, all these things are so different. So kind of take it as you will. We'll never know the
it's
real.
Like read a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we'll never know the real journey of the Blue Hope Diamond. We'll just never know the real journey of it. It had a hell of a life.
Well, yeah,
it's going around killing people because it's cursed. But I don't think that was it. But
I don't know.
Who knows?
Sometimes
I personally
you make your own curses, I guess.
Yeah, and it was an easy, like you said earlier, scapegoat. Like, yep,
that's what it is.
Why I spent all my money, and that's why we got
an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just thought it was a cute little story. When I was reading it and researching it that few months ago, I was like, oh, this would be kind of something different just to see.
To talk about.
Yeah, something. I mean, it's a fun story depending on. If you do too much research, you're going to go down a rabbit hole and you're going to end up in a bunch of different holes because they're all different. The stories that are with it.
Oh, yeah.
So essentially, all you need to know is that this bad boy is in the Smithsonian. You can go look at it.
It's super pretty.
It is super pretty. We're looking at it right now.
And Dudley.
Yes. Dun, dun, dun. Ah. So, you got anything else to say? Do you want to complain about anything? Do you want?
No. I'm good.
Not on air?
Yeah, no.
That was a weird laugh. I don't even know where it came from. So remember to check out our Patreon page to see what extras you can be getting from us. Because just do it. Just do it. Just go look at it.
Just get your shit together and go do it.
Yeah. Just at least go look at it. Let me know when you look at it.
Please.
Yeah. Please. And thank you. Because we are super nice. We'll probably add more things to that as time goes on and whatnot. I just wanted to pay a little more attention to it just because I kind of let it go after we started before.
So much that we're doing.
Oh, God, yeah.
All at the same time, you know?
I know. I don't know if I'm coming or going or where I'm even at anymore. It's freaking nuts, but I love it all. We gotta stay positive, but we love it all. We look like we're trying. We look so awesome today. We have like our business suits on and everything. We are gonna go fuck some shit up. Yeah, this is great. And then
we're gonna go kick some holes in the walls.
But at the same time, we're like, oh, take me out of my misery. It's a good time. So, and also email us at paranormalxl@writeme.com. I just love to say it like that.
I know you do.
Again, that is paranormalxl@writeme.com. We want to hear everything. No matter the reason.
Yeah, how much you love us, how much you hate us.
Yeah. What you want to hear about, if you had a bad day, you want to hear about that too? So then you owe us one, then we have somebody to go to bitch about our bad days.
Then you'll be next.
Yes. So, or question of anything. So keep a lookout for more information on the events we will be part of this year, because there's not like a ton, but it's enough to keep us busy throughout the summer, and I'm pretty excited about that, and then still be able to keep up on our podcast and stuff, so it'd be awesome. So, don't yuck someone else's yum.
Ever.